Okay, we're recording. Thank you. That's the first thing I want to say. There's a million and one things that you could be doing on a snowy Thursday evening. You could be making snowmen or sledging or something cool like that. But you give up your time to listen to the call. So I appreciate it. I take it seriously. And my role is just to give you as much information as possible. There's no sales, there's no persuasion. It's just information. We're excited about what's bubbling in the UK right now, and you have a chance to be a part of that. So a little bit about me first. Like I said, my name's James Lavelle. I've been in the industry 5 years. I've been fortunate enough to be successful in both companies that I've been with. I'm not telling you that to impress you, but mostly to impress upon you that I know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of confident that what we're sharing with you is going to be bigger than anything we've achieved before. Before that, I was in the military for 15 years, and before that, I was a scruffy council estate kid from Manchester. And that's important because whatever happens, the success that we've had, I always remember those humble roots. The army actually saved me from that environment because I was becoming a product of the environment. So 15 years in the military, traveled the world to some glamorous places, some not so glamorous places, but nonetheless, it was a foundation. It was the platform, if you like, for take my life to the next level. And look, maybe you guys can relate. The army was great. It was solid. I kind of knew what I was doing, 15 years in a career, but I just wanted something more. I wanted more finances. I wanted more travel. I wanted more freedom. I wanted more time with my little girl. So I was hungry, but I'd never had the right vehicle. No one had ever shown me how to get all the things that I crave. So I was open-minded, and that's the first thing. Closed minds cost people fortunes, and that's not you guys. You're open-minded. That's why you're on this call. And I was the same, and I was just 2013. Someone put a post on Facebook, genuinely, and I just thought, well, I'll learn more. I decided to explore. I see the ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and I thought if it's possible for them, then why not me? And that's exactly what happened. I got to work in my new business in just a few short months. I was earning more part-time than I was full-time. But more important than the money, I was inspired, I was lit, I was excited about the future for the first time. So after 15 years in the military, I decided to walk away. Just like any dreamer does, I found something that I can now be aligned with. And people thought I was crazy, but vision is the art of seeing something that's invisible to most other people. So as long as you see it in your own mind and believe it in your own heart, that's all what really matters. And that's what happened. I got to work with that company. Like I said, I had some success. And after 2 years, the money was rolling in and all that was great. But the reality is that there's more to life than money. And I was no longer fulfilled. And my advice to anyone is don't stay where there's no love. Life's too short for mediocrity. So as my love dwindled for that, I kind of stumbled on this. And what you're going to see today is the company I fell in love with every fiber in my body, the people, the mission, the products, you know, the things that they bring into the table. And that's come to fruition this week, and you get to be one of the first people to see it. So we're excited, and I'm excited for you to see it. So I'm going to share some slides and talk you through. And I think the slides are important because they say that picture paints 1,000 words. So I want to help you guys understand as clearly as possible. I'm going to minimize my little body head. There you go. And then we're going to get started. I think the first slide's so powerful because life is about timing. You know, think about all the opportunities or the occasions in your life where you're at a crossroads, and if you made a different decision, you get a different result. And that's what happened to me 5 years ago. I made a decision to get started, and you know, my life circumstances changed forever. I've seen it happen to many people before, and we believe we're at that crossroads again. We're excited about taking the right path, and of course, we invite you to be part of that journey. Okay, disruptive by design. I like this because I was always disruptive. That's why I got expelled from school. But it's slightly different in this context. It kind of means in the industry that we're disruptive. We think different. We act different. We want to break the mold. And I'll give you some examples of disruptive companies. Who would have thought that a company that owns no vehicles could dominate the transportation industry? That's what Uber have done. What about a company that doesn't own any accommodation, but is so prominent in the accommodation industry? That's what Airbnb have done. These guys are basically disruptors of the industry, and that's what we are in ours. Because if you think about this, there's companies who sell coffee, there's companies who sell nutrition, there's companies who have skincare, and that's fine. But we're not known for one thing. We're the opportunity company, and we provide multiple opportunities to people. That's why we're disruptive, and that's why we believe we're going to break the mold in this industry. Okay, a little bit about our products first, because some of you guys want to learn more about that. Don't worry, everyone's on for the travel. I know we're going to get into that in a great detail. But look, we've got a really strong product philosophy. We're partnered with world-renowned nutrition and health experts, and we have rigorous third-party testing. And look, all I'll say about this is that these products are of the highest standard. Please do your research, understand the certifications and standards that we adhere to. Inform Sport, the Leaping Bunny cruelty-free. These are high-end, non-toxic products. These are the best you're going to see on the market. So just know that if you ever consume some of these or market some of these products, that you're dealing with the best. Remember, not all products are made equal. Okay, from top left working down is that we've got the first one is Slenderize. The weight loss industry is huge, or maybe not, literally, but the weight loss industry is big in the UK. It's worth $2 billion annually. And most weight loss companies do the same old thing. Calories in, calories out, which is effective short term, but long term, there has to be a clever approach. And that's what we've done. They've created these Slenderize drops. It took them 2 years to formulate. And it's a scientific formula that targets weight loss and all the different areas. That I could go into it, but most people don't know that if you don't sleep well, it affects your weight loss. If your hormones are out of whack, it affects your weight loss. There's certain factors that other companies don't deal with. Slenderize covers all of them. That's why people get insane weight loss, but not only while on the products, once they've reset the body, they continue to see the results long after. If you want to learn more about that, you can explore Slenderize. The next brand is Nutrify, if you're into nutrition. A whole host of products there, fish oils, Vanali, Optimal V, Optimal M. And the flagship product there is our superfood drink, our award-winning superfood drink. 36 superfoods cultivated from around the world and in one bottle or a pouch. And again, it's a phenomenal product. Who can benefit from that? Everyone, because everyone could be healthier. And that's a problem with health. Most people don't care about it until it's too late. And it's a big cornerstone of what we're building with ARIIX, the opportunity company. The next brand is Jove. If skincare is your thing, please look at some of them videos online. You'll see the amazing before and afters with the tightening cream. Purity is the next brand. Again, ARIIX, a company with its finger on the pulse, whether it was water filtration or air filtration. If you were interested in that or know people who were, you could have a build with that brand. The next one is the essential oils, and people are just becoming more aware these days. They want to use natural alternatives, and the essential oils give you that. The final brand is Revive, and I always laugh because I'm talking about shampoo and conditioner. It's been a few years since I've needed that, but I have it on good authority, ladies, that it's amazing. It's paraben-free, sulfate-free, no pegs, no stuff like, no nasties in there, and it's high end. They love it in the salons. It's doing really well there. So you're just looking at these things as an individual who can consume them or use them, or as business building tools. So there's the products. Quick slide on the bill of rights. What does it mean? Is you are about to step into business, and if you do, you need to have assurances. Don't listen to what people say. This is business. Make sure that it's in writing. And we have a legal binding document that protects you. And I'll just say in summaries that there's lots of companies out there who say that they'll love you, but actually the terms and conditions say different. I've seen people terminated, I've seen rules changed, and that happens because people don't have a bill of rights. All you need to know is that in this business is that your future is protected with an industry first bill of rights. Okay, our fearless leaders. And what I love about these guys is they're all experts in their own field, and they all bring something different to the party. With over 100 years of combined experience, whether it's Fred Cooper, he's the CEO, who's really the brains when it comes to the compensation plan, or it's Deanna Latson, who's the brains behind our marvelous products. All these guys, like I said, they all bring something to the table, and together they create a formidable team that have been successful before. They're about to be successful again, and they invite you to be a part of that. So if you're on this call and you're looking for part-time money or full-time money, I'll just say it in simple terms. No one pays more than us. We've been voted on numerous occasions by independent bodies out of thousands of companies worldwide to be the #1 paying compensation plan in the industry. And many awards and accolades, and all that's just an example of is that people recognize we're a company on the move, whether it's for our award-winning products or our compensation plan or the patent pending bill of rights. All these things, people recognize that ARIIX is a company on the move, and that's why we have these awards and accolades. Okay, again, just to emphasize the growth, you see it growth in each year, and we continue to grow. And it's important to know this because some companies, they're going in the opposite direction. So you want to go with a company who's on the move, who's growing each year, not which is decreasing each year. And the great thing with ARIIX is that we're big enough that we ain't going to go out of business, but small enough that there's still huge growth ahead. Okay, we're here, we're getting to it. The biggest day in our company's history, in a day that will send shockwaves around the industry. And that's exactly what happened. And that day was when we launched ARIIX Travel. So this was powerful for me because, you know, the company's already given me health, wealth, opportunity, love, connection, all these things. But I already travel anyway. I love to do that and create experiences for me and my little girl. But now I can do it for even cheaper with a company, and I can get paid by helping others to do it. How cool is that concept? So a little bit of context, why travel? Well, firstly, you should know that we're stepping into the biggest industry in the world. Global travel is worth $7 trillion a year. There's 70 million overseas trips from the UK annually alone. There's only 66 million people. Put that into context. Some people are having multiple trips. UK-based travel is over 30 billion. The average person spends 10% of their annual earnings on travel. 10%. That's how much people plow into travel. And, you know, one thing I learned about this is that people are driven by price. Now, I knew that, but I didn't know it was the biggest factor. I thought the biggest factor when choosing somewhere was destination. It's actually not. It's price, because people will rule out a destination if they can't afford it. So that's interesting to know. Okay, there's a murky little secret that not most people know. And when people are browsing online, they're browsing all these different companies, they're comparing prices, and quite often they're browsing at companies that are owned by two big powerhouses, and that's Expedia and Priceline. All these other companies, hotels.com, booking.com, Trivago, there's even more, they all fall under the umbrella of these two companies. So these are the two major players in the market. Now, why is this? These companies have secret access to this back-end system. So this is how they built their business. And let me tell you, Expedia did 70 billion last year, 70 billion. And they did that because this system allowed them to. This system and its software allows over 400,000 hotels worldwide to input their data into this system. And it basically tells when there's beds available, when there's cheap deals. And what really happens then is someone like booking.com show it to you. They make a retail profit on you. You think it's amazing because you got it cheaper than the hotel. But actually, it's the system that allows them to do that. People like me and you, individuals, don't get access to the system. So I'll explain it in another way. The Hilton Hotel has a room, say, for £300 a night. It's looking like the bed's going to be empty. They're going to lose money. They don't want an empty bed. But at the same time, they don't want to compromise their brand by putting it on the website. So they've input it in this system. Companies like Expedia and Booking.com get it. They can get it for £150 as an example. They'll sell it to you for $250. Everyone's happy. The Hilton get paid. They don't lose a bed. Expedia make a profit on you, and you're happy because you actually got it a bit lower than the actual full retail price with a Hilton. So that's how it works. Supply and demand. It's a live system that changes daily. Okay, put that to one side for a second and think about this. People love rewards programs, whether it's Air Miles, whether it's Marriott Rewards or Hilton Honors, or even if it's going to Starbucks, you know, having your 6 coffees and then getting your 7th free. For me, it was Nando's. I used to carry this tatty bit of paper around with me. And every time I went in, I'd get a stamp just to get, I don't know, a quarter of a chicken every 5th visit. And it's crazy because I can afford to get a quarter chicken, but people like to feel like they're being rewarded for the loyalty. So all these loyalty programs and these reward programs are huge, huge business. Now, bearing in mind everything I've just told you, what if they could give you access to this system? Now, bearing in mind, this system costs 6 figures a year to gain access to for these large corporations, these powerhouses online. What if you as an individual could get access to that system? What about if you had that system and if you added to that the best rewards program in the industry? 2 huge key factors. And then if you did that, maybe you'd start to recognize the power of this opportunity and think, maybe I know other people who want this. If that was the case and you recognize this as a legitimate business, then now you've got first movers advantage. You have an advantage to move first because the people who do in any business as it's about to take off, they have a distinct advantage. And that's what's going on now. We are in pre-launch. You have a chance to position yourself. Okay, there's a couple of ways how this works. I'm going to tell you the most beneficial way first. In simple terms, there's all these products with ARIIX, whether it's skincare, whether it's nutrition, whether it's weight loss, whether it's clean water, the list goes on and on. Every time you spent £1 with ARIIX, they would give you a reward pound back. So like a reward token. And it's the equivalent, it's worth £1. So if you spent £1, you get £1 back in your little piggy bank. Make sense so far? So just by consuming the products, just by getting some customers through your office, if you spend £1, you get £1. Now think about this. It gets even bigger in the first 28 days. So if you get a new customer and they spend £1, they get £2 back. They get double the reward pounds. And the same with a new representative, they get double the reward pounds. So remember, you can use these reward pounds to access the biggest savings online. Let me give you an example. If a hotel on booking.com was £5,000 and on ARIIX it was £3,000 because it was a wholesale price, if you added enough of these reward dollars, 2,000 of those reward dollars, you could access it at the rock bottom price at £3,000. Does that make sense? So that's why we're rewarding people for using these products. They get these reward pounds and they can use them to get the lowest possible price online. Another example again, the Marriott. If you want to stay there for a weekend, just say it's £700. Now, Priceline have got it off this back-end system, so they can sell it for £500. Now, you're going to go to Priceline because it's the best price, and why wouldn't you? So everyone pays £500. What they don't know is that there's some people in ARIIX and using the products, they've got their little rewards piggy bank. If you took 300 out of that, because you'd accumulated 900 points, so you took 300 of that, and you used it, you now only have to pay out of your own pocket £200. Think about that. So the Marriott, it's £700. On Priceline, it's £500. You can get it with your rewards bank for £200. And the best bit, the £200 you spent out of pocket, you get back when you stay at the hotel. So this cycle is perpetual. You know, you spend out of pocket and you get it back, and you continue topping up your rewards bank and using those reward pounds to ensure you get the biggest discounts available. Okay, so a question you might have is, do you have to use products or can you just travel? No, it's best to use products because you can get huge savings. You can get 2 for 1 in the first 28 days. And also, going forward, you can spend £1 and gain £1 in travel. So you can see the huge benefits with that. It's almost like getting products for free because you're using the £1 that you spent on that to get savings on travel. But if you didn't want to do that and you just wanted to travel, every time you spent money, you would get that back. So, for example, as the image shows, if you spent 1,000, then you would get 1,000 back once you've been on that trip. So your reward bank keeps continuing to top up. The more you travel, the more rewards pounds you get in your bank. Is it the best program? Absolutely. You know, once you go on the system, you'll see cruises, you'll see, I mean, there's hire cars on there. There's hire cars on there at a reduced price so that if you use it on the system, not only do you get a cheaper price, but you get a reward pound. Remember, every pound you spend, you get a reward pound back. There's all these top destinations in the world. There's these villas, there's bonus weeks where resorts put up the week. They say, hey, you know, give us $400 and you can stay this week in Florida, which would be usually, I don't know, £2,000-3,000. There's all these things. And remember, there's over 400,000 hotels worldwide. This is the biggest database there is. This is what all the big players use, and you can get individual access to it. And the top benefits is that, look, they price guarantee. Not every single hotel is a massive saving, but if you find a hotel cheaper online, they promise to credit you the difference. So you know that you're working with the best system. There's some huge savings on some hotels, but bare minimum, at the very worst, you're going to be able to price guarantee. And look, here's some of the things that I found. I mean, it's some crazy savings. I was looking online and I set the filter so I get the biggest savings first, because that's how I'm going to base my trips in the future. You know, I'm going to look at a city and work back from the biggest savings. This was the Mykonos Utopia Hotel in Mykonos. This is one of the places I want to visit in Greece. On booking.com, it was $4,373 for 7 nights. And with ARIIX, basically you could trade in your tokens, so these travel pounds that you built up, and you could get it for the total of $1,471. $1,471, saving almost £3,000. The next one, who wants to go to Orlando? So many people do. Who wants to save money going to Orlando? So the SeaWorld in Orlando, the Holiday Inn. On booking.com, it was $2,130. With ARIIX, if you had enough travel tokens, you could get it for $975. That's less than £70 a night. Another one, this one's on the bucket list with the Moon Palace Golf Spa and Resort, all-inclusive Cancun, 2 weeks there. I mean, online's a good price. Like I said, when I'm showing you these prices online, they're the best prices I could find. They're not just any prices. So, you know, Cancun on booking.com was a great price. It was $5,749. But if you had travel tokens that you'd accumulated through ARIIX, you could get that for $3,257. Huge savings again. And my advice is, when you get the system, just don't be married to a hotel. Don't be like, that hotel on that day. Just kind of like, right, well, I want to go New York. And then you'd look at the hotels. You can filter it. So you can just go, I want 4-star or 5-star or whatever. And then you'll see the big savings. So the Hayden in New York from Christmas and over New Year, you could get that online for just short of £6,000. With ARIIX, if you had enough travel tokens, you could get it for $1,484. It's crazy, right? And I promise you, seeing is believing. I'm just showing you a few examples. You get on the system, get it yourself, and you see these huge savings. Okay, there's two types of people on this call. One just wants to be a customer and they want to access the system. That's great. The next wants to access the system but wants to build a business, wants to make money by helping others to save money. Okay, so if you're a preferred customer, you just want to access the system, you would pay £99 to access it. But the great thing is, talk about a return on investment. When you pay your £99, straight away you get £198 in reward dollars to save towards travel. So think about that straight away. You get that investment returned. You now get access to the system for a year. And I just want to remind you that that system costs a lot of money for corporations to get access to, and you can get individual access to it. That has never happened before. So if you as a customer, you can access up to 50% of the savings available. Let me give you an example. So if a holiday online was £5,000 and ARIIX could get it for £3,000, then you would be able to get it for $4,000 because you can only access 50% of the savings, which is still phenomenal, right? That you could get it for $4,000. You couldn't find it anywhere cheaper online than $5,000, but you could get it for $4,000. Pretty cool. So you can access 50% of the savings if you're a customer. The biggest savings are reserved for those who want to be in business. A business partner can pay £99 to access the system again. Remember, you get double the pounds back, so $198. And this time you can access 100% of the savings available. So if it was $5,000 online and ARIIX had $3,000, if you had 2,000 travel tokens, you could get it at the rock bottom price of £3,000. And all you have to do in ARIIX to do that is be active. And that's a 100-point order a month that either comes from yourself or it means that you've got a customer. And if you do that, it's around about £100. If you do that, guess what? If you got a customer, you would make money off that. You would be active in the business, and you would also get travel pounds back. Remember, for each pound you spend. So just by being active in the ARIIX business at around £100 a month from you or a customer, by the end of the year, you would have £1,200 in travel pounds. How insane is that? Your own little savings plan for holidays. So two types of customers. There's the Sapphire and there's a Diamond Traveller. The decision is yours. But ultimately, whichever group you fall into, what we're offering is 5-star trips for 2-star prices. And I think that's appealing to most people. Okay, the pay. Look, the compensation plan, I haven't got time to go into it in too much detail, but the normal or the standard compensation plan that integrates all our products, building a team, we get paid in 8 ways. I told you before, it's the #1 in the industry. Now we've added a 9th way. So imagine the way I'm going to do this next week, there's so many people, there's a queue of people waiting to get on this system. So I'll put them on the system. They book their own travel at their own leisure. I'm not a travel agent. I just give them access to the system. They do that every time they book. And if they don't access the full savings, like I said before, they're just a customer, then that commission, what's left over, that rolls up. So I'll give you an example. If they booked a holiday and there was $1,000 in commission, they still got a great deal because they saved $1,000, but there's another $1,000 in commission. Because I got them on that system, there'd be £150 for me. The person above me would get £100 because that's 10%. The person above them would get £50 because that's 5%. And you see it goes down all the generations. Now think about this for a second. We get paid for building a network. You have something that people will want. It saves them money. And by doing that, by helping them, you build a business and get paid more. We're going to get thousands and thousands of people on this system. And every time the system's used, ka-ching, a check gets paid and money rolls up to all the people in the network. How cool is that concept? Genuinely a source of residual income. Okay, look, I know that there's stuff on the call and it's kind of like, oh, there's lots happening and, you know, there's a lot of information to take in. We get that. We're only in pre-launch. So if you want to learn how to maximize this, if you want to learn how to get the benefits of this, then please be at our event, the launch event on the 24th of March, 2018. And what you're going to get there is all the detail. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be travel. Honestly, they're going to learn firsthand how to maximize the opportunity. Please be there because it's a very special day and a day that people will look back on and know it was a part of history. There's also an after-party celebration, everything you could want from that room. Worldwide, tickets are about £50 to £60. We're doing a limited offer and tickets are £20 only. So £20 for a ticket to be at that event. And even if you thought that was a waste of your time, that £20, if you didn't love what we do, our CEO has given a money back guarantee. He said, listen, he'll have someone stood on the door and he'll give you £20 back, no problem. He's doing that tongue-in-cheek because he knows deep down you're going to love what you see. So please do everything you can to come to that event. Even if you're a customer or you're a representative, you will all get benefit from that. Okay, if you want to build the business, here's what you need to do right now. You need to get enrolled, and we all got enrolled with a pack. That's how you start the business. This is business. There's always an investment in business. But the great thing with this investment is it's small and there's a huge return on investment straight away. So you would start with a pack. It would either be $199 or $235. The person who got you on this call can show you that. So let's just say $199 pack you started with. You would get a business orientation system. So you would get samples, you would get brochures, you'll get a back office system. You'd get £150 worth of products. So again, you've now made your money back with the products and the business orientation system. But here's the killer. You ready for it? For the £200 you spent, you would get 400 in rewards pounds to use off discounted travel. How insane is that? I've never seen a business of this nature where you get started, you get so much value, and you double your investment just by getting started. You get access to the best mentoring and support available. You get first movers advantage because we're at the start in pre-launch. This is going to be huge. You have a chance to be at the beginning of huge. And then access to the system starts next week, whether you want to be a customer or a rep. We all have to pay the £99. And remember, what do you get back? You get back 198 in travel tokens because every pound you spend in the first 28 days, you get double back. Okay, so think about this for a business opportunity. Who do you know would like to access huge travel discounts? Well, bearing in mind there was 70 million overseas trips last year in the UK, I'm going to reckon that most of them would want to save money. So our target audience is huge. Who do you know would like to make money from this? Who do you know would like to travel to cool places? If the answer is yes to any one of them questions, then you'll start to understand why we're excited and we believe we're at the cusp of a wave of unprecedented growth in this industry. It's this simple. If you've seen it, if you get it, if it makes sense, enroll. Get off this call, say to someone, listen, it makes sense, get me going. Once you get started with your pack, get your event ticket, you need to secure that space. And then all you do is tell others and grow quickly. Just say, hey, listen, I've seen something, I don't understand it all. Get on this call. They get on the call and I share the presentation just like I did for you. And we're doing calls. The next call's on Sunday evening. We're doing calls all next week. It's so simple to grow your business because you just bring people to the call. They like what they see. They join your business. I just want to add something as well. Even if you're not ready to join a business right now, you want to be a customer, get your event ticket. Come and learn more about us. Come and experience our culture. Come and get some free giveaways at the event on the 24th of March in Birmingham. Okay, so that's it. We've done so many calls in the last couple of days. So many people are joining the movement, and some do and some don't, and that's fine. But a lot of people just get stuck because they see it, you know, they're excited, and then, you know, the longer they leave it, it's just like, oh, and then life gets in the way, and before you know it, you're building a snowman in the garden. And, you know, I remember this, a mentor saying to me, if not now, when? Because life is a series of opportunities. And you know this to be true. And it's like, if you don't take action now, if you don't act on how you feel right now, then it might never happen. And, you know, 5 years ago, I was looking for something more. I lived in a cramped flat in the city centre of Manchester. It wasn't poverty, but I just wanted more for my little girl. I wanted more finances. I wanted more travel. I wanted more freedom. And I knew that for things to change, I had to change. Because that's how this works. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always had. So I made a decision that day, and that was my crossroads. I turned right instead of turning left, and it changed everything for me. And, you know, a few years on, I live in the most beautiful place. And more importantly than that is my little girl has got all the things that I never had. Her prospects for the future are amazing. She won't know, the background that I came from. She'll live not just a life filled with love, connection, all them things, but she'll have all the opportunities presented to her that this business has given me. So, my wish for you is that you find that, even if it's not with us, that you find something that can excite you, that can help you change your life circumstances, because life is too short to live a mediocre existence. So, look, we're excited. If you're ready, we'd love to partner with you right now. If not, you just want to get in the system, that can start next week. But either way, listen, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And I'd love to see loads of you guys at the big event on March the 24th. I hope you got value. Feel free to add me on Facebook. My name's James Lavelle, and I appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.